is June 21st, 2024, and I have Barb and I have Bob Sykora here, and Mona's in the background. She's listening in. First and foremost, how did you guys meet? See, what did I tell you? You're already looking lovingly.
My joke is by accident. I went to St. John's, she went to St. Kate's, and I was taking an education minor and came down to a student teacher conference. Convention. And I was trying to get home to get my studying done, and she had a red dress on in the middle of the Curtis Hotel, and we went and had a drink.
Excellent. That's really neat. I grew up a block away from St. Catherine's University.
You did?
It's a great, beautiful campus. And they didn't let guys in there at the time. I never tried to get in there, but it was wonderful to ride your bike around with the nuns in their full habits. You know, during your college experience, I'm sure you saw there's not many nuns there anymore.
Probably back in the year when I was there, that was still going on. I don't know.
that could have been. All right. Now, first, I want to talk about your upbringings. Where did you grow up?
I grew up on a farm near a little town called Milroy, Minnesota.
Okay.
My parents were wonderful. My dad was in the legislature all those years. I mean, that was pretty much a career for him.
40 years, was it?
Oh, I think it was about 40.
40.
Okay. That's quite a while.
Yeah.
How many acres?
Did he farm? I think he farmed almost a section, didn't he?
A little over. About a section and a quarter.
Okay. And what did you have on the farm?
In the way of animals?
Yes.
We had beef cattle.
Okay.
That was kind of the main thing, is that we raised beef cattle on our farm. We also raised a few pigs to follow the cattle.
Sure. Okay.
That kind of thing. And we had a few chickens, so we'd have eggs.
All the time. Fresh eggs. That's nice. Yes. What was your favorite memory growing up on the farm?
You know, what I loved is the barn. I loved spending time in the barn. It was warm in winter. I could pet the animals. They were wonderful, and I just always enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. And how many siblings did you have?
4 others.
4 others, so there were 5 of you. So you had basically a basketball team. You know, usually there's 9. Usually it's a baseball team. For farmers, they have 9 or more. And describe for me one of your first, because I'm going to talk about your mom and dad too, your first memory of your favorite holiday.
My favorite holiday?
Yeah, just what a pleasant memory that you can throw back when you were a child, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas.
I think I have to say Christmas.
Okay.
Because, you know, the trees were so pretty, and, you know, we got to help decorate. I got to help decorate. I think I was about 5 years old the first time I can remember that. I got to help decorate the tree, and everything was so pretty. And I knew there were presents coming, that Santa was going to come.
Yes, that's fun. Tell me about a great Thanksgiving meal. What was your mom a cook?
Oh, yeah. She made a turkey, of course.
Okay.
Turkey and dressing and, you know, mashed potatoes, the works.
And then did you entertain? Did everybody come over to the farm, or was it just the 5 of you with mom and dad? Well,
no, usually there were more of us, because it was kind of my dad came from a large family.
Okay.
And so there were always more of us than that.
I asked that because I noted in your notes that you guys have an annual get-together where the whole family, the nucleus of the family, that you guys, everybody comes to gather in. We're going to speed a little bit ahead. Describe that for me, because that interested me.
Go ahead, honey. Why don't you?
Yeah, you've been pretty quiet so far, Bob. You got to yap up
terrible.
Here. Let's go.
The kids scattered around. Mona's the only one left in town.
Smart enough to stay in town, right?
She was the smart one. And 2 of them went to Colorado, and 1 went to Kansas City. And so we've got 10 grandkids out of town and 2 in town.
Okay.
And so we got to get them together once a year so we could all see each other and play a little bit.
Where do you gather?
This past year we went to Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, fun.
And it was really actually a good place to go.
Well, it's nice to gather because, like I said, in asking your memories of what you did as a kid, that's the kind of stuff where it kind of molds your upbringing. And then once you're older, you remember when we used to, and the kids say, wasn't it funny when Billy fell out of the tree, or Ron was, the balloon popped on his head full of water, that kind of stuff. It's just, you don't think about that at the time, but when it's done, and now you guys and your later on in life are thinking back at that and thinking what a great gift that was just to be together and just to have fun, whether you're playing cards or lawn darts or whatever the case may be. Okay.
My dad's side of the family was large. I think there were 11 kids.
Oh, boy.
And so...
How many acres? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, no, I'm just teasing.
I don't remember how many acres, but, I mean, he kind of set his 6 sons up in farming.
Yeah,
okay.
Grandpa bought the 6 boys a farm each.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
So he had 6 sons farm. We girls, I mean, I went to college and became a teacher and eventually married this guy. Lucky guy.
Luck of the draw, huh?
Yeah, luck of the draw.
And then describe for you, I'll get to you again, Bob.
No, I'm not.
But your high school, what'd you do in high school? What activities did you like?
Okay, well, I went to a little town called Milroy High School. There were when the town of Lucan joined Milroy, there were 30 kids in the class.
Oh, boy. Everybody knew everybody's business.
Oh, we all knew everybody, but it was good. I enjoyed school. I did well in school. I loved all my friends.
What gave you the desire to be a teacher?
Well, I loved school.
Okay.
I think that was part of it.
That's number one key point.
I loved school. I was a good student, and so that just seemed like the place to go. And my dad had been a teacher, I believe. He was no longer at that time a teacher, but he had been at one time.
And if you're going to be a nurse or a teacher, St. Catherine's University is where you go. That's basically the only place, or one of the best places you can go. So you chose wisely. All right, so you're into your college years. Now let's start with you. Tell me about your upbringing, Bob.
I grew up on a different farm out by Browns Valley, Minnesota, which is out by the South Dakota border.
Okay, way west.
Way west.
South by 90?
No, it's straight out on 7.
Oh, okay.
It's the other end of Highway 7.
Okay, got it.
Ortonville, Morris.
Oh, sure,
Wheaton, out in that country. And we had about 7 quarters of land, and there were a lot of us. So we had 6 boys and 1 girl.
Oh, boy.
In the family.
Poor lady.
Yeah,
Does she still talk to you?
She was a big boy.
Oh, boy.
She takes care of us.
I really, whoever she dated first, I really feel sorry for her. That would have been a very intimidating. I would have just turned the car around and said, yeah, it's not going to work out here.
I think it was tough. But it was good. It was a pretty good sized farm operation. We had cows and pigs and sheep, and my dad had to have sheep because they raised pets and
got it,
chickens and then grain.
Tell me your favorite memory of growing up on a farm, because that, as a city slicker, that just amazing. When you said barn, that's what I always think of.
It's probably more the pride of being. We were proud that we were farmers. We worked. I worked 7 days a week.
I was going to say that's 24/7.
Yeah, and I was more captive than some of my brothers. I seldom, but I went outside. I was mommy's little helper until I was about 13. Okay. Because I had 3 older brothers. And
right.
They were out working in the outside, and then
dummy.
Then I was ready to go outside. So by the time I was 13, 14, I started outside. So for 7 years, I milked cows literally twice a day.
Wow.
And I got very few days off in that.
Oh, I can imagine.
But you're very proud of it because it was a good farm. We were the Sykoras. We were proud of our operation.
Certainly.
And
farming. I mean, farming today is hard work, but I mean, back then you didn't have the technologies. You didn't have. I mean, it's still hard work. Right, pitchfork. It was pitchfork and a couple of elbows just going like that. Yeah,
it worked.
What about your grade school and high school?
I went to a little one-room country school for 6 years.
Okay.
And we had one
Miss
little
Beadle.
We started out with I won't use her name, but the first teacher was a kind of an older woman. She was probably 25, and the one that ended up running it most of the years, about 5 of the years, was she came to a family reunion here about a year ago.
Oh, fun.
She's about 94 years old.
That's okay. She didn't remember
She was
half
about
of it,
18
but that's
years
okay.
old, 19 years old. She got her certificate. She had 24 kids, 8 grades.
Oh, wow.
She started the furnace in the morning and dumped the water, filled the water
Yeah, it was
fountain.
one room. You gotta get everything done.
She did everything. Yep.
Wow.
So, but that's how I did the first 6 years, and then they consolidated us into Browns Valley.
Okay.
And
then skip up to high school. What did you like to do in high school?
I was not the jock. I wasn't athletic at all. I was in the band. I was the good student, as like she.
Okay,
referred to it.
that's something to brag about.
No, things are good. I enjoyed school as well.
What instrument do you play? Did you play?
The bass drum.
The bass drum. So you were just bang,
I was
bang.
the farm boy who could carry it.
Do you play any instruments?
I played a trumpet.
Trumpet? Okay, gotcha. My grandfather was a jazz drummer. He played for Prairie Home Companion with Garrison Keillor. He was in the house band with Butch Thompson. And his claim to fame is the song Mersey Dotes.
Really?
He was the voice on Mersey Dotes with Al Trace in 1940.
No kidding, Mersey Dotes and
Said, Red,
Dotes
can you
and
come sing this song? Red Maddock was his name, but it's not about me, it's about you. But just, I just figured when he said, I forgot to ask you about instrument, because I always told my kids, if you play an instrument, it's for life. And one of my sons, my oldest son, said he learned 6 songs on the piano. And I said, why have you learned 6 songs on the piano? And he said, you go and you play the first 3, and all the girlfriends of the jocks come around by the piano, and you have them for 3 songs, and then you just put those next 3 in your back pocket for the rest of the party, and they'll be eating out of the palm of his hand. But that's fun. And you don't still play, do you?
I still play the piano, hardly ever.
Okay, piano. And you're not banging around the drum, walking around. Okay, good.
No.
That's probably a wise decision.
Yeah, I was in the choir too, but I can't sing either. So.
I played the trumpet.
Okay, well, and what brought you to Collegeville then?
My high school principal had gone to Johnny Prep,
Okay.
and then went on to St. Thomas. Some
Sure. Yep.
medium school.
Yeah,
like
boy,
that.
that's quite a.
Yeah,
those
yeah.
are 2 bang rivalries.
But he was in high school up at St. John's.
Yeah, St. John's
And then-
Prep.
Yep. And then he told me that I should go to St. John's, and I said okay.
You were getting good marks at the time, like you said, and
Oh,
you
yeah, I
were.
was, yeah.
It's probably going to be a little bit easier for you to get up there and rather than the jocks, etc.
Yep.
That's a good little trade school they have up there in Collegeville,
I
right?
know, especially if you're from St. Thomas.
Yes. Now then, so then you guys meet in what year of college?
Senior year.
Senior year in college. Okay, and you're living in St. Paul. You graduate from St. Kate's. You graduate from St. John's. And then, okay, we're looking here. You're starting to date a little bit. And then what happened after that? How did this relationship continue to thrive? What was next?
He was awfully cute.
Okay, that helps. Looks help. Smart sometimes are looks, and she said you got the looks, so you got one for the other. And then where did you? What was the courtship like? What was the give and take?
It was really after we were in college more that we dated.
Yeah, she snuck off to the East Coast and taught for a year.
Okay.
I went to
Boston.
Massachusetts for a year.
And then
wow.
I went into the Army for.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
What years?
Reserves, just for the reserves.
That's okay.
6 months.
That's not a just. You were in the Army. I'm just in
I
reserves.
I know.
Thank you for your 6
did
years.
boot camp.
Yes, that's.
And then we came back. Then that'd be the end of '64, summer '64, and she moved back in with her buddies from St. Kate's over in St. Paul, and I moved it back in with my old roommate in Minneapolis, and then we hung out on West 7th, and
Sure. Yep, up and down.
Yeah,
Sure. What street did you live on in St. Paul? Do you remember? I just know that
Can
area.
you remember it? What
of
is
course
it?
I remember.
Well, you always came over to visit.
Goodrich.
Goodrich Avenue.
Oh,
That's
wonderful.
right.
I used to live in 1818 Goodrich. Way back
You
when.
did?
Yeah, on the
probably-
Goodrich and Fairview, right in the corner.
That was
You're
probably way
probably
back
next
as far as
door.
I was, I was probably further back than you.
Yeah, it's St. Paul's just such a wonderful city. We won't dwell on that where we are now with St. Paul, but that's okay. But back then it was fantastic. Okay, so then it's starting to get serious. When did it get really serious?
It didn't take that long. We because we got married in '65.
Okay, so you dated about a year,
Yeah,
and
we
then
dated about a year.
you both realized, I think this is
This is it.
This is it. These are the ones.
Yep.
You get married where?
Well, Milroy, Minnesota, where I grew up. That
Okay.
was my hometown. It's so tiny, hardly anybody's ever heard of it.
Oh, I haven't heard of it.
But that is where we got married.
Okay. At what location?
The Catholic Church,
Okay. What was the name of the church?
St. Michael's, wasn't it?
Yep.
St. Michael's in Milroy.
Right.
All right. And how was the wedding?
Oh, it was wonderful.
Wedding was horrible, but we had the reception on the farm.
Oh, you had the reception on whose farm?
On
My
On your
dad's.
farm. Oh, okay.
I mean, they really had the place fixed up.
Yeah,
believe
right,
me.
except for the flies.
That's okay. They're outside. But if it's the horse flies, you can get your revenge because they're slow. But if it's those other ones, they move too
The
darn
other
fast.
ones. But yeah, we had a great time.
All right. So you get married and you honeymooned where? Or did you honeymoon? Sometimes people didn't honeymoon back then.
Where'd we go?
You're supposed to tell him. And I want to find out if you
remember where we
remember. I'm going to see if you care.
No, we don't want any fights here now. This is all good.
I can't remember where
We went around Lake Superior.
Oh, okay.
We started out
Beautiful,
in Alex
yeah.
and then drove around, looped around, up to
yeah.
Mackinac,
That's right.
up around Mackinac Island.
Oh, fantastic. And this
back
was
down.
when? What time of year?
Oh, we got married in July.
At least you remember that, huh? That's good. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it was greenery and thriving, and you had great weather,
was
and the
lovely.
lake was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I just love the look of.
And he was
Superior.
handsome.
And what did you drive in? What was the car?
I was driving a 1962 Chevy Bel Air,
Ooh.
Robin's Egg Blue.
When did you get rid of it? Because you never should have gotten rid of that car.
I know it. She had bought a Nash Rambler.
Well, that's all I could afford.
Okay, yeah, right.
My dad had bought that car for me when I was a senior.
Okay,
And so we didn't need two cars. And
right.
so I gave it back to my dad, or sold it back to my dad for a few bucks, and he gave it to my little brother, who is now a senior in college also.
Okay, boy, that car probably, I don't know what it'd be worth today, but we won't dwell on that, will
Yeah,
we?
we won't
No, we
dwell
won't
on
dwell on that.
Too bad we didn't give away my dumb little car.
Up on the table.
But it was so much cheaper to drive.
Right. Yeah, less gas. Where did you live then? Where did you?
We started out in an apartment
Okay.
in St. Paul.
Oh, in St. Paul.
Yeah.
Okay. What, was West 7th Street part of town, or?
No, not that. What was the name of our street?
Western Avenue.
West-
We're right across the street
That's
from
right.
Roseville.
Oh, okay.
She was teaching in Roseville.
Oh, okay. Excellent. So you had already picked up a job teaching right out of what? Like
You bet they grabbed me.
they got you right away. Okay. You started teaching in the Roseville School District.
Yes.
And what were you doing at the time?
I was working for IBM.
How long were you there?
I started in '63 and went through about 39 years.
So
We were the
picked-
same age.
You scooped up the gig right after St. John's.
Yep.
Okay, so you were hitting the ground running. Okay, so
Yep.
you were there. Wow, so you were both employed. You're in the apartment on Western. And what are we thinking? What's your next move at that point? What were you thinking? Family, obviously, but
Well,
We didn't get very far.
she was the first.
she was the first. Okay,
9 months later,
okay.
9.
Here she is. That's good.
Actually, it's 10 months, 9 months later.
I did not
I'm
get
not-
pregnant before I was
I'm
married.
not trying to do any math. I'm not
No,
trying-
she's a month premature on top of it.
I was a preemie.
Okay, good. Okay, chiming in, yes. Mona is chiming in. First child, then the second child. How long after that?
2 years later,
2 years later.
our son.
Yeah, I've got the ages here. I should, before not make you. Yeah, we got Mona. Okay, then 2 years later, John. 4 years later, Kara,
And then Mary.
and then Mary.
That was it.
All right. Describe. When did you move out of the apartment?
Oh,
And what was your next move out of the apartment? Because then you're building a family.
You're supposed to talk.
So you pay attention.
yeah.
IBM.
We moved into a house. We bought a house.
Okay, still in St. Paul?
That was in St. Paul, wasn't it? The first one?
No, we moved to Crystal.
Oh, we moved to
Crystal.
Crystal.
Oh,
That's right.
okay.
We made a job offer, or made an offer in Roseville, but somebody beat us to it. The realtor
That happens.
switched that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we ended up in Crystal. I tried to go to South Minneapolis again, which is where I
The
started.
gem of the suburbs.
But
Crystal.
Crystal is nice. Crystal.
That was they called themselves the gem of the suburbs.
Is that their nickname? Okay, the gem of the suburbs. I'm trying to think if Marjorie Johnson, I think, lives in Robbinsdale, which is not too far from
Right
Crystal, I
next
think.
door.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right next door.
Oh, yeah.
So we got a house in Crystal, and how many kids?
We ended up with 4 children.
I mean, at the time when you first
just
bought.
Mona.
Oh.
You just had Mona.
Just
Okay.
Mona.
Yeah.
So then you lived in Crystal for how long?
Not real long. A year or 2? How long did we live there?
Maybe I had a different wife.
Well, I'm asking questions off the cuff, so I'm not trying to trick. I'm just
I'm trying to
to.
remember how long. We didn't live there very long.
7 years.
7 years.
But we
Okay.
bought a house. We didn't live at the...
Yeah, it was 1 year in. Yeah, okay, she's back.
Yeah,
It was 1 year in the apartment,
Yeah.
and then we moved to Crystal, and we were there for 7 years.
Got it. Okay. And by the end of that, you have all 4 kids.
Nope. By then we had John, and it was a small house. It was
Little starter home.
Yeah,
Sure.
nice, a real nice starter
Yeah.
home. And 2 kids were fine. She got pregnant, and they were going to widen Highway 100. We were right off. We were
Okay.
a block off Highway 100, and they were threatening to. They condemned the houses to our
Eminent
rear.
domain.
Eminent domain, and they weren't going to take our place, but they're going to take the backyard neighbors.
Oh.
And I was a
good
mayor's
situation.
campaign chairman, so I called him and said, "What are you going to do now?" And he said, "We're going to put apartments back there."
Oh boy.
And I said, "Reuben, it's been nice knowing you."
Yeah, I'm out of here, Ruben. I don't know you, Ruben, but I am gone.
And
So-
we moved.
And to what city?
Deep Haven.
Deep Haven. Okay. So you're out western suburbs. You're building the family. Are you still teaching?
I was teaching for a while, but not for very long. Once we had children, I was not teaching.
Okay, you were stay at home.
I was mom.
Okay, you were a mom. I appreciate that. I've got 4 kids, and my wife, with this job, I was lucky enough to have her stay at home. And God bless all working moms, but God bless all the moms that stayed home and didn't get paid for a job that you're working 24/7 overtime, not 80 hours a week, but however many hours. It's just.
But your kids are very important. And, I think it's important that you give them the time they need.
It's a wonderful gift, and I'm sure that your children have come back and said, "Wow, now that they're parents, that we recognize how hard it is, especially, in today's scheduling." And back then, you might send the kids off on their bike to baseball practice, but now you got to go, and everybody watches, and it's just, it's incredible. Okay, so where are we in life now? We've got the 4 kids. You're out in Deep Haven. You're still with IBM.
Yep.
And describe for me the best summer vacation, whether it's just a trip or the best family vacation that you had with your immediate, with all 6 of you. What was your favorite? What was memorable? Not your favorite, but memorable.
There's 6 of them. The spoiled one. No. Mona went to a semester in England,
Oh, wow.
and we went over and rented a van, and Mona toured us. She had been touring Britain a little bit, and so
Okay.
she knew her way around reasonably well.
It's always
And
nice when you have a
did-
good tour guide.
It is wonderful, and we rented a van and drove around. We went to Wimbledon. We had a
Sure, saw all the
Yeah,
sites.
that was
Yeah, we saw a lot.
So that was probably the most memorable.
Okay. Is that for you as well?
Oh, I think it was wonderful. Yes.
Did you take a vacation in the summer annually, or were you just happy to be?
No, we
Everybody
almost
be
always
together.
take a
We
vacation.
almost always did. We had
We go
a
someplace.
we had a
Okay.
conversion van, and we went up to Edmonton. We took. I think they're all. Were they all 4 in
It was
Edmonton?
all 6. That's when we
No,
had
not Edmonton.
Is that when we had Bobby and Emily?
That was the conversion van.
No, but we did the conversion van to Edmonton.
We had a couple foster kids
Northern
for a while.
Canada.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that.
Oh,
That's
so
okay.
that's
So
why there was about
everybody was
6.
piling in.
She's remembering a different one. We took and on 6 in the van. We had the 2 foster kids. We went up to
God bless you for that.
international Fort William,
Okay.
And saw the Voyageurs.
Right.
And came back. That was memorable.
You're pretty bold to ride up to Edmonton. That's not just on the other side of Lake of the Woods. That
was cool.
That's a long ways.
Yeah.
With the kids, actually.
There's a park out there. We went to Lake Louise, but there's called
Jasper, Bambi.
Huh?
Do you remember?
Jasper.
Oh, Banff.
No, there's north of that.
Jasper.
Went to it was like Misery. There's a gorge.
So did you camp or you found hotels to stay in?
We found
We
hotels.
stayed at hotels.
We tried camping. We were not.
It's
good
not for
campers.
everybody. It is not for
We
everybody.
were halfway to Fergus one time. I got them camping. And there were enough mosquitoes. I almost took the camp. I almost took that tent.
Yeah, and those again sometimes aren't fast enough where you can
They were
swat them
bigger.
away.
Yeah.
They're vicious up in northern Minnesota. Describe for me, like I asked you before. I never got to your Christmas holiday or your favorite holiday. Memory
Mine
for you.
was I had a cousin who had 8 kids also, and they're about our age, and we'd get together each year, either Christmas or Thanksgiving. And when we went to their place, they had a sliding hill, and we could slide down that hill at Christmas time. It was fantastic, and they're all I had one a year older than me, one a year younger than me, and they had 8 kids also.
And the parents were so happy because they could look out the window holding their little toddy and they're clinging the ice together.
We
and
walked a half mile to get to the hill. They didn't care where we were.
Now we're going to fast forward to you making holiday traditions. When you've got 2 different upbringings for Christmases and Thanksgiving. Holidays, I always like to include holidays in here because holidays are so special for families, and kids growing up have great memories of whatever holiday it is. What traditions were your favorite to give to your children? What do you value? Was it Christmas Eve for presents, or was it Santa in the morning?
Well, for the kids when they were young, it was Santa in the morning.
Okay.
Because Christmas Eve, then it was pretty obvious that we were given the presents, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, that's true. Families are different like that. Some do that at Christmas Eve, or say you can open one, and then, for us it was you had to bring all the stuff. Santa had to bring all the stuff out, and Dad was, the night before trying to put a drum set together backwards. It was.
We did that, but we were dumber. We went out to my place in Browns Valley with I think all 4 of you, and we'd go out there and spend Christmas Eve, and then Christmas morning. We'd get up and drive 120 miles to Milroy, so you'd have Christmas Day with this walk crowd, and so and we did that for 10 years.
Because my whole
Maybe
side of the
longer,
family, they were.
And so, Mona's got a slug of cousins her age and then down. We're slow. My brothers are a lot quicker than that. There's a lot older ones in my family. But when Mona was born, there were 4 pregnant women in the family. So there's 4 her age.
What was the anticipation like, Mona?
Oh, it was so fun.
That 2-hour drive, and you go, oh my gosh, we want to get there. And
one of my great uncles would dress up as Santa.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
A little,
yep.
You'd have to figure out which one it was.
In it for the kids. Yeah, it was very, very fun.
No, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about, is that's just such a fun, it's hokey and warm and soft, but
I'll tell you Mona's story. Barb and I abandoned our children and went to Europe one time back when Mona was probably 6, 7.
Yeah.
And we went to Greece and Turkey, and Barb's sister was over there.
You're all in.
Brother-in-law's in the
England,
service.
of course.
And we came back after a month, and they knew we were coming, and they saw us coming up the road to my brother's. They were staying with my brother. And they went and hid in the barn, hoping we'd leave.
Oh, no.
They were having so much fun at the relatives.
This is a long time.
Yeah, they're like, wait a minute, we don't just kind
We're
of
not
hiding
done
behind the
playing
closet.
yet.
Yeah, we need to get more. What about the kids growing up and different activities? What did you promote or allow, or was it music and books, or the world is your oyster. What were your children like?
Well, this daughter right here was a pitcher
Okay.
for the slow pitch,
Okay.
and she was awesome.
You were
And so we were big fans of baseball, softball, I should say.
right. Okay. Tell me about the others as well. Is that her only activity? As
No.
growing up, or was there?
Oh no, you did other things.
She won the state championship in softball.
Oh, nice! Congratulations. Well, she didn't wear her "I won the 1975."
Yeah, she did. She did.
That wasn't the first thing out of her mouth, so I think she's quite humble. I think.
No, our kids were pretty active in sports. They played baseball and softball and basketball, didn't they? And what else?
No.
Soccer.
A little bit
Soccer.
of basketball.
Soccer. We got
primarily
kind of into soccer.
Okay, just a lot of running. A lot of running.
A lot of running and kicking.
And did they go to what is that? Deep Haven High School or Minnetonka? Where do you go up there?
They went to a Catholic grade school.
Oh, okay.
The last one went to Minnetonka.
What's out there? St. Teresa?
St. Teresa.
St. Teresa, okay.
And then they went on most of them. The older three went on to Benilde, and then the youngest one, Mary, decided she wanted to stay with her buddies in Minnetonka, so she switched back to
Benilde St. Margaret. That's a nice little trade school off of 100,
it is
isn't
a
it?
decent trade school. And
So you know the pains of tuition. That's good. That's
Yes,
good.
we
They
Yes.
all played soccer there. I ended up coaching soccer for 15 years.
Oh, nice.
I didn't get Mona. I got the next three because I started when she was about in the 5th grade. So
Okay.
You missed her.
I wasn't good enough to coach a 5th grader. I
Right.
little kids.
Well, that's like me with Little League. I got the kids that picked the dandelions, and my buddy that played first base he took all the good kids. I got all the rejects like me, which was fine.
I did for 15 years. I got okay at the end. I cheated. I went and got kids that knew how to kick a soccer ball.
Okay, no, you recruited. You didn't cheat. You recruited.
Well,
That's what we call
coaches,
it. That's what the Catholic schools call it
They're
anyway. We
assistants.
recruited,
They're
not
assistants.
cheated.
Yeah.
And as they got older, give me a year. Mona, roughly what year did you graduate from high school?
84.
84. Okay, so we got mid-80s. They're getting older. Thinking of college, how did you handle the kids growing up and starting to make their own decisions? Were you open to whatever they wanted to do, or were you, this is the hard line, what you're going to do next?
We were, I think, always pretty open to them. I got into politics too, so
Right.
We were kind of a busy family.
Let's stay on college, but yeah, that's a good question. No, but deal with the college. See if you can answer this question.
Say it again.
So what were, as far as their decisions, if they wanted to go to St. John's, St. Kate's, out east, wherever, how did you?
We pretty well dealt with that.
Okay.
They didn't, chances are they did not pick a school they hadn't seen. So they didn't get way out of reach.
Right.
But we did let them choose their school. You got to choose yours, didn't you?
Where did you go, Mona?
Lawrence University, Appleton, Wisconsin.
Underachiever, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it sounds like your children had a really good base to draw from, and now 84. We're starting to get into. I'm
going to finish one more.
Go ahead. Yes.
I told them. I told the girls to stay away from the South. That's probably the only advice I gave them.
Okay.
Cara, the third one, started looking at University of Virginia, which is a good school.
Yeah.
And she wanted a competitive school, and I said, and we're all Minnesota people, and
Golly gee, looking at our loafers, shucks.
Boys don't treat girls the same in the South as they treat them in the North.
Yeah.
And I said, just be aware of that, and best is to stay away from the southern schools.
That was enough, huh?
And they all, I don't know if they listened to me, but they went. They all went to.
They took it to under consideration.
Schools. They went. One went to Lawrence, and then John went to Creighton, and Cara went to Bucknell, and Mary went to Notre Dame, and
Can't beat that, can you?
They're all
No,
great
that's all
schools.
solid.
They all chose their own.
Yeah.
That's good. And as they're, how did you handle them moving out, going away, getting to an empty house. It's tough for them to leave the nest, but it's
They were all pretty confident, I think.
okay. So it wasn't difficult for them to leave.
I don't think it was that difficult for them to leave. It was maybe a little more difficult for us to see everybody go, but it was one at a time, with a couple years in between.
Yeah,
every
they're
time.
spaced out pretty good there.
Yeah.
So that's good.
So it was okay.
Wait. Is she supposed to be honest, or is this kind of sneak over?
I hope
this?
she's as honest can be. Honest as can be.
Edit
What do you
that
say?
part out, but 2 years after.
This is for your family, so you can be honest or lie like it.
2 years after Mona and John left, she built a two-bedroom house. No bedroom for Mona and John. Now ask me again whether she missed them.
Right. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
How's your bedroom in the new house, Bob?
Exactly.
You're with IBM at this point. Did you go back to teaching once they left? Everybody left?
No, I was.
Oh, you got involved in politics.
I became involved in politics. I was the party chair for the Republican Party for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
I was just very involved in politics at that point.
What made you jump into politics? An event or?
Well, my dad was in politics.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And so I used to watch him, and I really thought it was interesting. And then at some point I got the bug too, huh?
Well, it was interesting back then because you could be a Democrat and a Republican and say, Bob, you're full of beans. You're wrong. And then we'd go have a martini together. It wasn't what it is now where it's this ultra, I hate you if you don't agree with who I choose for president.
I don't think it's always like that at all. I think a lot of them get along.
I'm not talking about I guess I'm talking about just the general population where it's 10%, and the rest of us are 80% in the middle. But the aggressive far right and far left are, I think, so inefficient. I know we're not here to talk about politics, but there was not an event other than your father. You didn't have an awakening to get into politics. It was just you gradually watched what your father did.
I just found it so interesting.
When she's about 4 years old.
I what? What'd you say?
When she's about 4.
Yeah, she had the bug already. She was already good.
I just kind of got the bug.
She had the bug.
Did you do anything in high school politically? I mean, as far as run for office or anything?
Oh well, yeah, I was one of the elected people in high school.
Oh, class president or student council or whatever it was. Okay,
stuff
got
like
it.
that.
So that also that grew out of that seed that you.
I suppose, but it was a small school. I grew up in a small town, and it was Milroy Public School. Who ever heard of Milroy Public School?
Right. Yeah, it's not like
so it
Burnsville
wasn't
or
exactly
anything.
like it was a big school or any big deal.
That's true, but it's still an accomplishment.
I suppose, to some extent, yeah.
And then I also, at this point, we're in the mid to late 80s, early 90s. The kids are growing up, they're getting married, etc. I saw a reference to electronics, social media in something that you just, as a topic, maybe wanted to mention. Give me your impressions of electronics, social media, and that introducing that to the world.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to dwell on that as much as it sounds. I went back and read it here a couple of days ago. But what I was just trying to say there is the electronics has been phenomenal. I mean, compared to when we were little kids and we didn't have TV and we had a battery radio and we didn't have electricity. And I mean, we can go back to
uphill, walking to school uphill both ways. Yeah.
No, it's only a mile. So I only, but it was much more primitive. It was also much more, nuclear family oriented.
Yes.
There were all get-togethers. Were primarily with the neighbors or with my cousins, and we had tons of them. And we went visiting. My folks went visiting all the time. That's what my folks wanted to do. They'd visit, and would throw us all in a car, and we'd go drive around the countryside and check to see whose car was in it. Literally,
go for a ride.
Yeah, and see whose car. And if their car was sitting in front of their house, we'd pull in
and have a visit.
And the visit, sometimes we'd leave the next morning.
Sometimes they stayed a month.
My folks would play cards all night. They'd go in and play cards all night, and we'd go in the barn and play in the barn for
right.
5 hours.
No, I get what you. I do understand.
Much more, and I think we abuse the electronics. It's so phenomenal.
And it's used as a babysitter instead of going out to
precisely.
Right.
And the misinformation. I mean, think how fast we can spread misinformation now. It used to take weeks. Now it takes 10 seconds. And that's the only point.
Do you feel you had a part in that sinister plan by working at IBM?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. That's what I said. It was magic. I joined IBM when nobody knew what a computer was. It was fantastic.
Or it was the size of this room, the processor or whatever it is.
They thought we were little boy geniuses, and
I remember them.
The customers are good to us, and life was wonderful.
Well, that's quite a company to work for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because they were on the cusp, the cutting edge of technology. Cray and all the. I mean, everybody just.
Yep.
And it was just at such a crazy time when it exploded, and then. But you're right. If you have Thanksgiving at my house. When my kids were young, they went to go play Nintendo and, or the games and so forth. But it really has, it's drawn from the nuclear, the core family. Right. And there are some good parts about it. Like you said, if I want to know what's the population of Wisconsin, I type it in and have it like that. And it's, for me on the show, it's great. I look like I'm the smartest guy in the world, but I still play the dumb one on the show. But that really... I think technology is both good and bad, and I agree with your assessment of it's pulled a little, but we got some good stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's amazing what we can do with it.
All right, now we're going to fast forward to weddings, grandchildren. The kids, all 4 of your kids got married, and then tell me who your favorite grandchild is. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
There's no way you're going to hear that.
I knew that. But
it must be hers.
Yeah. Now you were in politics for a while, and that took your time.
I was in for 12 years.
Okay. And so as your kids are running off to get married, you're doing that. You're still at IBM. How many years did you work there?
I did, I think, 39 years.
39 years. Okay, that's good. I hope they took care of you.
They did.
Okay, good. That's what I want to hear.
They froze the pension, but other than that, they still have a pension. As Mona will tell you, I still have one.
That's good. Now you're heading to third base here with the grandkids. And tell me about your grandchildren. I know this is a time to brag. You don't have to mention anyone specific, but I mean... life is just so rewarding, and then all of a sudden, these grandkids start coming.
And you know what? They are all good kids. They are all good students. I think my children did a good job of raising their children, put it that way.
Well, they probably had good role models, I think. That's the key here to learn from. What are you called? Grandma? Nana?
Grandma.
Grandma?
Yeah, Grandpa and Grandma.
Your Grandpa and Grandma. Just one traditional.
And in writing, we're G-Pa and G-Ma.
Okay, got it. Everybody has their quirks. Some are bumpa, some are, whatever the case may be. And what is your favorite activity to do with your grandchildren? In general.
The only ones that were in town were Mona has 2 daughters. They're both fantastic. And Mona spent way too much money teaching them soccer, and they were both very accomplished soccer players.
Okay,
and we were given the informal award of being the best grandparents. We hardly missed a game.
I don't think we ever missed a game. We went to every soccer game.
Both Anna and Sarah are they were good soccer players. Their teams are fantastic. It was just delightful.
So
unfortunately, they're from Minneapolis.
Well, you can't have it all, right? And so you'd get the fold-up chair and just go sit in the grass and watch them, or in the stands, and it was that was good. Tell me about when everybody gets together. What's a favorite? When you have the annual family reunion, what do the grandkids look forward to? What do you look forward to?
Most of them want to play cards with us.
Oh, what do you play?
We play 500.
500, okay.
Barb and I have taught them all to be mean.
They all know how to play 500.
players.
And hide that joker, or hide that ace over here.
They all know that they're tough. They're good. They're good.
They're competitive.
They're all competitive.
Oh, they're very competitive.
They're competitive.
Kids.
Yeah.
It's delightful.
And so right now you're still living in Deep Haven. How long have you lived in this house?
Oh, long time.
35 years.
35 years.
On top of
No,
the 17 we spent
35?
next door. See, we bought one house, then bought the lot.
We love Deep Haven.
Okay.
the lot
Well, what's
next
not to love? That's a really nice part of town.
It
was
is.
a
Yeah.
tomato patch, and we bought the first lot.
It was
in
just
the
luck
tomato
we went in
patch.
there.
How did you find the house? This was after the Crystal.
No, that's it. We
Fiasco.
were looking for a house.
I was looking for a hobby farm,
Okay.
and the realtors are telling me, be careful. You know, Corcoran doesn't have very good zoning, and you're going to go out there and buy 9 acres, and somebody's going to buy the 80 acres next to it. He's going to put 360 houses on it, and they're going to vote for water and sewer, and you're going to pay for it,
Yeah, that's money.
and you won't be able to afford it. And so be careful what you do. Be careful, be careful. So I found an acre and 3/8
Okay.
in Deep Haven. I
And
thought I
that's-
bought a farm.
That's city slicker stuff. That's what I would think. That I got a huge farm. I got an acre.
No,
and a half.
I knew I didn't get my farm, but I thought I at least had an acre.
Yeah, yeah. What do your children do? What's their occupation, or what do they do in life?
What do you do, Mona?
I'm not supposed to be
No,
teaching.
tell it.
Well, Mona runs an organization that, how would you describe it? Just describe it.
It's a nonprofit. We employ people with disabilities out in the community.
What's it called?
Equality Pathways to Potential.
Equality to Pathways Potential. Okay. At my airport job, we have, I think it's LifeWorks, or
Yeah,
it's something, we
yeah,
have some,
program.
and it's a, God bless you, because that's a great program, because you're taking, they're not forgotten.
No.
That's
they're
what's
awesome.
really, and it's, way back when, if there was a problem, sometimes it was okay. And now, if you have any type of disability or anything, you've got someone that's what am I trying to look for? What's the word? Supporting an advocate.
Yeah.
You have an advocate, and I love that. So
Yeah.
God bless you for doing that work.
And she took she cheated on her employer and started a little company. Started a little company and risked her job and turned into. She had 100. I think 150 clients and
Wow.
and it's.
Yeah, that's commendable.
She bought the damn farm.
Yeah.
She has 20 acres.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's good.
She's got goats. She's got chickens. She's
Got
got
a regular,
love it.
you got to have a petting zoo.
It's a truck.
You got to charge people to come in.
It's a truck farm, and she sells down at the farmers markets.
Oh, damn.
And
The people with disabilities. Some of our people with disabilities are the farmers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Minneapolis and St. Paul?
We just go to the Maple Grove Farmers Market.
Oh, Maple
actually.
Grove. Okay,
Oh.
got it.
Buffalo. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. As I do frequent the Minneapolis and St.
It's
Paul
pretty.
farms.
It's impressive.
I love
It's
it.
impressive what you built.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
It's amazing what she does.
Yeah.
All right.
And then John went into finance, and he went through got into bonds and ended up being the portfolio manager for 20th Century Ultra, which is at the time was I think the biggest mutual fund in the country.
Okay.
So he did very well.
He's a money man. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
he's
good.
And he bought, and he who wouldn't let me buy 12 acres back 20 years ago, bought himself 9 acres, and he's got horses and
Oh, boy, you
chickens
can't take
and-
the farm out of the family, huh?
no, except I took it out of their
Yeah,
dad.
right. Except Gramps.
Anyway,
that's...
so he's
Right
on-
now, my acre is big enough
so
for
he-
me.
Yeah, right. It's enough grass to mow.
He's in the south end of Kansas City, and we want to talk about. He's got a disabled son, which is
Okay, how do you handle that?
He's got SMA, and if you know
Spinal muscular atrophy.
Spinal muscular atrophy, which
Yeah.
is a...
Well, you never will be able to walk.
Okay.
He develops no muscle, and it's something to do with a protein gene or something.
Okay.
Watch me goof it up.
Yeah.
But he doesn't develop any muscle.
So
he's
he's
bedridden.
He's okay. So he's in an electric wheelchair, or
He's got
Yeah,
a wheelchair.
wheelchair.
He can move his hand. He
okay.
can run a wheelchair. He can run a computer. He's now in his 3rd year in college.
Oh, wow.
And,
What's he studying?
He's studying programming, coding. He's
excellent.
doing coding classes.
That's
And,
see, that's I mean,
he's smarter than hell.
he's
Yeah,
smarter
he's-
than all of us.
He's very smart.
I know he's smarter than me. I don't even know that.
He plays chess, and I quit playing with him. He told me I could get
Three
on
moves?
I could get on the internet and learn the game.
I have a son too that I play chess with him. 3 moves, and he'll say, "You're done, Dad." And I'll look down, and I only moved 1 pawn. Chess is a really fun game.
And at the family gathering in Omaha, Charlie took everybody on with 4 in a row.
Oh my God!
And,
So just
he lost 1 game.
yeah, he probably did that on purpose so somebody would still come and play.
I didn't try to play him.
But
No,
he's,
no, that was probably wise.
But he's a smart little guy. But it's the amount of dedication that John and Kim, his wife, have to go through is phenomenal.
That's 24/7. That's
It is.
They're incredible people.
Yeah, they
because
are.
that is, again, I'm not telling you guys anything. That is just something that just to 3rd year in college. Again, what an achiever. And okay, I'm chess champion. You know, that's
Oh, he's not
fabulous.
a champion.
Well, he's kicking your butt every day, so I think you better shut up over there. Okay, and then that's John and Kim.
Yeah.
And what is that child's name?
Charlie.
Charlie?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what else do we have?
They've got 2 more girls.
Oh, 2 more girls,
They got
okay.
one older than Charlie, who graduated from Creighton. She's a nurse in Omaha. And then their youngest is now, hey, watch me goofing up. No, she'll be a junior
Okay.
in high school.
Oh,
and,
wow. So they're flying all over. And then the last one is
Then there's Cara.
third one, Cara.
Cara married a guy from Boulder, Colorado, so she ended up going out to Boulder.
She went out
And
west.
she was working with Home Depot. She opened a store down in Chile for him back when she was single.
Okay.
And then she got married. Now she just takes care of kids too, like your wife.
That's okay. That's
Yeah.
good. That's a
But
24/7 job
She
again.
just became an empty nester, so it's going to be interesting. So
Oh,
we'll see
wow.
what she
So you'll
does
have to
next.
give them advice.
Yeah.
What, build down?
Yeah.
Build down is what it is?
Yeah. And then the baby is Mary. She's got 4 kids. She married a young man from Notre Dame.
And that's what they met at school?
They met at
Yeah,
Okay.
they both went to
Yep,
Notre
yep.
Dame.
And what was her degree in?
She was in marketing.
Marketing, okay.
Yeah.
So my Sophia might be going to her for a job someday, right? Is
Yeah,
that
right. Yeah. No, and she worked for. I didn't even know what the company did.
I can't remember who she
Initially,
worked
it
for.
was Hewitt, the person, the PR company, public,
Public relations
not
company,
public
I think.
relations, human services company initially. That's my
Is that you?
watch.
Is that your
It's my
watch?
watch.
I thought it was mine. I was like,
bumped
wait
it.
a minute. Oh, that's okay.
But she is a human services company when she first got out of college, and then
Human resources.
and
HR?
HR, I think.
HR,
right?
that's human. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And kids?
She has 4.
4.
She has 2 girls and 2 boys, and 2 of them got the oldest one's in college, and then the other one is going up to college next year. She just graduated, so
Okay.
she has two Smurfs at home, and
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're all
we have 3 left at home. We have 12 of them, and 3 left at home.
Well,
pretty
you guys
lucky.
are busy at Christmas, huh?
Yeah, yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun.
What's your next chapter?
Us?
What do you want to happen? What do you long for? What's making you happy?
I kind of like traveling.
Okay.
So I'd like to do a little more traveling with my husband
Look at the mic.
before we get too old to enjoy ourselves
Yes.
and hike up the hills and stuff
hike.
like that.
Hike makes me nervous.
I spent my summers when I was young at Glacier National Park. I worked out there.
Oh, wow.
And I love being in the mountains. I really
Okay. Yeah, you have to be. You're a camper, or you're not, or you want to hike, or you don't want to hike. I'm not a hiker.
do. And I'm not sure
see it
how
from
much either of
afar.
us want to hike anymore, but I really enjoy the national parks. They are beautiful.
My brother did spend a summer working in high school, or when he graduated, working at Glacier National. And he said it was
did?
absolutely beautiful.
I spent 3 summers there.
Yeah, he says, I would love to go back, but you put it off, and
Doesn't he want to take his kids there?
not anymore. I think he's just ready to look at the pictures like me. So when you say travel, you're talking about national parks. Do you have any desire to go back to Europe or?
You know, I'm almost happy to go anywhere.
Okay.
So
Traveling by.
any place Bob wants to go, I'm game.
Okay. Are we going to get the conversion van? Are we going to spoof that up again, or is that long
No,
gone?
we're not gonna. We're gonna stay at
We're
motel.
done with that, I think.
Okay.
No, we've done several. We've done, England. We've done Greece. We've done Italy about 3 times. We've been to, went down to South America when Carl was down there, and we've been to Spain. So we've seen that.
You're
it's
running
been
out
great.
of push pins for the map.
It's been great. No, it's been, and a lot of it was fun trailing our kids. Spain was going over to, because we had a daughter over there, and Italy. The daughter was in Spain, but she went to Italy, so we met her in Italy, and so we followed the 3 daughters around.
What do you feel, and it doesn't have to be your best, what are one of your favorite or most wonderful accomplishments as parents and as a couple? Or it can be both.
Well, I think we were good parents because our kids are great kids.
Sounds like they're set.
We're really lucky with regard to our kids. We're very lucky. There's one of them back there.
She's got a big smile on. Big smile on. Your kids?
My brother and I my brother used to tell me I had the best kids in the family. And I said, we'll decide that when the youngest is 50. We'll get together and compare notes. So,
And we're almost there.
We got about a year to go.
Yes. Okay, this is just like a quick lightning round. What's your favorite meal? One of your favorite meals. When I say favorite, that means it has to be the best. But what? 2 things. What do you like that she cooks the most? I'm being very sexist by implying that.
She made a beef stroganoff, hamburger stroganoff, which was good.
That's something when you come in the door and you're like, oh, tonight's going to be a good night. Yep. What is his best quality?
He's a sweetheart.
Okay.
He is. He's really a nice guy.
All right, back at you.
He's got high ideals.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good man. You're never going to go wrong with him.
Loyal, right behind you. He'll carry your coat when he's going to be in the fight, right? No, wait. He'll give his coat to somebody else and fight.
Back at it. She is a stubborn, determined
I think it's a compliment.
Person. And, she ran for Congress.
Yep.
Against Jerry Sykora because she was basically one of the head of the Republican Party at the time, and they couldn't find anybody.
Couldn't find a candidate, so I did.
So she bothered to do that, and then she ran. She ran the state party for 4 years,
right.
And then she ran legislature. She ran the education committee for 4 years. And,
it's impressive.
Pissed away all my money.
That's what money is. You can't take it with you, so why not, right?
No, I'm talking about your money. And mine.
Okay, yeah, right.
Everybody else's money.
Yes.
But she was very accomplished. And you asked earlier, when she got the political bug, and she was born with it. Is the answer.
Okay.
My dad was in
her father.
politics.
She's a father.
Yeah.
She's a father worshiper.
And I guess I kind of worshiped my father.
Anything your father did, she'd do. And the old man was in Congress for 6 years, and
Well, that's not a bad thing to look up to your dad or your mom.
And I couldn't run for Congress because I had kids.
No, you did run for Congress. What are you talking about? And you did have kids. And I would have had to move out of town.
We're getting close on time.
Sure.
But before I let you go, what message do you want to, doing this sound story, I like to always close with, what do you want to be remembered for? Or what do you want the message of generations that will watch this down the road? What do you want them to know about yourselves? So.
Oh, God.
Or what's your mode of operation?
I just always wanted to be the best that I could be. My dad was in politics, and so I watched him, and I thought that's what I wanted to do eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to do it well. That's about it.
That's good. That's you had goals, and I think you achieved your goals at the age of 4. And being involved in what you were involved in, that's pretty darn impressive at a state level.
Yeah.
And which is what it is. How about you, Cowboy?
I think I was a pretty decent employee at IBM. I mentored a lot of young people that turned out to be a lot more outstanding than I, but they were fantastic. IBM. I had a boss who was in charge of hiring in Minneapolis, and he hired good material, and he would pass them over to me, and I had mentored them for about 2 or 3 years.
Oh, good.
And some turned out to be really good.
Yeah.
And other than that, that's professional side. Other than that, on the family side, I think the kids turned out as well as they had.
Kids
The
came
grandkids are doing great, and I don't know what else you'd want.
No, that's excuse me. That's one of the goals is, just to have your kids do as well or better, and you're setting them up with the foundation, and they hopefully mimic what you did. I mean, that was my goals with my 4 kids, and I can tell that was your goals, and it seemed Mona the same way, and I don't know the others, but I would imagine that. But
we're lucky; they're all good kids.
Yeah, it's something to brag about. You shouldn't be humble.
They're all very accomplished. It's amazing. They all.
Final last words. What do you want to send this sound story out with? Any words of wisdom? Anything you want to? This is where you get to either brag,
be the best that you can be,
point your finger, whatever.
I don't understand your question.
I'm saying, what do you your outlook on life? What message or what do you want someone that's going to watch this down the road to know about your philosophy or your?
I'd say always be the best that you can be.
Okay.
Think positive. Help people.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to sign off here. I just want to say I feel talking to you for the last hour like I've known you for quite some time, and I'm really you're to be commended for your family accomplishments. That's most of the sound story was talking about family, which I think it should be. We got some career stuff in there, but I think that's a tribute to both of you and your humility to talk about your children and their accomplishments, because you know what? That's basically...
There's one sitting here,
Right, yeah. She's still smiling. She's still smiling. Well, my only regret is that I didn't get to meet the other 3, so you'll just have to tell them what a great guy I was in person, and they can send me a postcard. Well, I tell you what, it was a really fun hour. You were entertaining. That's exactly what we like with Sound Story is no uncomfortable silence. You didn't clam up on me. Give me the look back and the deer in the headlights, and it was enjoyable to chat with you. So best to you and your family, and thank you for telling us your sound story.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to be here.